all the mysteries whispered on the salt-laden winds of the Atlantic, none is more chilling, more utterly perplexing than the one that began on a calm December afternoon in 1872. A sight that would freeze the blood of even the most seasoned sailor. A ship adrift, silent, a ghost. This is the enigma of the Mary Celeste. Our story does not begin with emptiness, but with life. Late November, 1872. The bustling port of New York. The Mary Celeste, a sturdy 103-foot brigantine, is ready for the crossing. Her captain, Benjamin Briggs, is a devout and experienced seaman, a man of steady nerve and sound judgment. He is not alone. He is not alone. With him is his wife Sarah, who chose to accompany her husband on this long voyage, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia, a tiny passenger for a vast ocean. They are joined by a crew of 7 capable, hand-picked sailors. The ship is laden with cargo, 1,700 barrels of raw industrial alcohol, destined for Genoa, Italy. But this is not a Spartan journey. Captain Briggs brings comforts from home, a sewing machine for Sarah, and an upright piano, its melodies meant to dance across the waves and fill the evenings with music. The ship's log, its final entry dated November 24th, is utterly mundane. It speaks of fair winds and routine. It is the journal of a perfectly normal voyage. They sail into the horizon, a picture of a happy, confident expedition. And then, they vanish. 10 days later, on December 4th, Captain David Morehouse of the brig de Gratia spots a ship. Her sails are partially set, but they are frayed and poorly sheeted, jerking in the wind. She is moving erratically, yawing in the swell like a lost soul. Morehouse recognizes her. It's the Mary Celeste. He signals her. No response. An eerie silence hangs over her. A deep, primal dread settles in. Something is terribly wrong. A boarding party is sent across. The creak of the hull as they step aboard is the only sound. They call out. Nothing. The ship is abandoned, but not ransacked, not destroyed. This is where the true horror begins. The investigation reveals a scene of profound and unsettling paradox. The ship is perfectly seaworthy, with months of supplies still on board, plenty of fresh water, food in the galley, even the personal belongings of the crew, their oilskins, their tobacco pipes, their precious keepsakes. In the captain's quarters, Sarah Briggs's sewing machine sits waiting. The logbook lies open, its last entry noting nothing more sinister than a routine position report. But there are clues that scream of a sudden, frantic departure. The sole lifeboat is gone, clearly lowered deliberately, not torn away by a storm. The ship's clock is stopped. The compass is shattered. One of the 2 pumps has been disassembled, suggesting a frantic attempt to deal with water intake. And most ominously, a long, thin sword, a cutting instrument, is found lying on deck, its blade clean. But there is no sign of a struggle. No bloodstains. No violence. It is as if every single soul on board simply evaporated into thin air. What terrifying force could compel a seasoned captain, a loving father, to bundle his wife and infant child into a tiny lifeboat and cast themselves into the open Atlantic, leaving behind the absolute safety of their sturdy ship? What did they see? What did they fear was about to happen? The theories erupted like a storm. Mutiny? But the crew was trusted, and no fight left its mark. Pirates? They would have taken the cargo, the valuables. A waterspout? A giant squid? The stuff of cavern tailies. But modern science offers a more sinister and perhaps more plausible nightmare. That cargo, 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol. In the hold, in the heat, these barrels could have leaked. Fumes would have built up, an invisible volatile ghost swirling in the darkness below deck. Then, perhaps a spark from a loose pin or a scrape of metal, and a sudden, terrifying whoosh. Not an explosion to tear the ship apart, but a violent rush of expanding air, a percussive blast that would have shaken the entire vessel, blowing open hatches and spewing a terrifying flame into the sky for just an instant. Captain Briggs, fearing the ship was about to blow imminently, would have faced an impossible choice. The instinct to get his family off the floating bomb would have been overwhelming. Abandon ship, into the lifeboat. Now, we'll stay tethered, we'll ride it out, and we'll come back when the danger passes. They clamber into the lifeboat, the captain clutching the tow line. They watch their ship, waiting for the cataclysm. But it doesn't come. The vapor has vented. The Mary Celeste is fine. And then, the weather that defines the Atlantic. A sudden squall. A gust of wind. The tow line, stretched taut, snaps. And in that moment, their fate was sealed. The sturdy Mary Celeste, now safe, drifts away, forever out of reach. They are alone in a small boat on a monstrous sea, with no oars, no supplies, facing the gathering storm. The ocean swallowed them whole, leaving no trace. The Mary Celeste sailed on without them, a floating tomb, a perfect monument to a single catastrophic miscalculation born of sheer terror. She is the ultimate ghost ship. Her decks still echo with the laughter of a little girl, the notes of a piano that will never be played again, and the silent, screaming question, what would you have done? The sea keeps its secrets, and the Mary Celeste guards hers forever.